The origin of my presence in Auroville is probably very ancient. I remember when I was a very young child, I was probably less than 3 years old. I had a very strange experience. I realized that in fact, I was not this child. I was something different, something on a higher plane, in another dimension, my main being. And so I knew that I had to get rid of this identification with this child. And if I was able to succeed, and it was probably hard, I will be free from all desire from this life, and so being able to do exactly what I had to do, and to understand what was inside the people, and to be able to know their real aim, and tell them which way we have to take. But probably this is the work of my life. And a second step, which is probably important, at the age of 15, I met a man, an old man, very wise man, from a community of Lanza del Vasto, which is inspired by Gandhi, and these people were living in harmony with nature, non-violent and vegetarian, and having a deep research, spiritual research inspired by India, but also from Western culture. And I was so impressed by this man that I suddenly realized that something else was possible. There was not only one life which was possible, we could create something better with more justice, with peace and harmony. And I realized that I was going to be one of them, will be able to try humbly to bring something on this direction. And when I finished school, I was a little bit less than 18. After I take the exam, I went on the road, traveling, hitchhiking with my rucksack and traveling all over Europe and discovering the world, being free, and having very wonderful contact with all the people around. In this time, it was in the 60s, there was some hope, and hope that life will be easy to change. And there were really brotherhood between all the people of the road, and with the music and everything. I remember with much emotion this time. And then after some time I went to the university to study philosophy. Because for me philosophy was a subject which was including all the others. I had a very good teacher last year I was at school. She was a wonderful woman, bringing her heart into the class, sometimes even weeping, but we really understood what was inquiring about truth and being sincere. But at the university it was like more scholar. So I spent a very, very little time. Maybe 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more. Because I spoke with my teacher and they say they are more intelligent than me, they have more knowledge. But they don't really live what they say. They're just very ordinary in their life. And for me, philosophy was a means to evolve, to change his life, to transform ourselves and the life around. So I went, and also at the same time I didn't want to be one of these persons who have the privilege to think for the others. And also I didn't want to be too much conditioned by one way of thinking. And I was also feeling some brotherhood, some solidarity with all the people of humble conditions. And so I went to work in factories and discovering this life and trying to understand and bring something sometimes. But it was difficult. And at the same time, I continue to travel in some places out of Europe and then